Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my first fall book haul because yes, September is totally fall. I don't care what the calendar says, it's fall. You're going to see the team throughout the books that I've picked up. I feel like I keep saying that, but this is definitely my best book haul in a while. I'm really happy with a lot of these, really excited. A lot of mystery, thriller, horror, some like cozy fantasy-ish, and a few non-fictions to balance things out a little bit. So let's get to it. Okay, I usually don't grab a lot of mass market paperbacks. I just don't really like them, except when I go to the beach, which during the fall, not gonna happen. But I went into that section for a specific mission and I found other things that appealed to me, so you know what? I picked them up. The first one, definitely fall related. Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I have one more book by her, The Witching Hour, which I have yet to pick up because it's like 1,000 pages, but maybe during the fall. I've never seen the movie either. I have literally no idea what it is about except vampire, and I feel like during the fall, I'm feeling the vampire coming out. I want to rewatch the Twilight movies and laugh, so maybe. I've heard great things. So I would love to be able to read it and then watch the movie. I thought this was going to be longer, but it's only like 350 pages. So the first one, I used to put the books like this in my background. I can't do that here anymore, which is upsetting. The next one, still fall theme, The Turn of the Screw and Other Short Fiction by Henry James. I basically bought this for the first one, The Turn of the Screw, because I read another book with a similar title, Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, which I believe was inspired by this. I mean, you would think so with the title. Apparently they're fairly similar, and I wanted to compare it to the original one to see which one I like the best. I like that one, except the ending wasn't the best. So I'm hoping that this will, you know, hit the spot, and short stories wouldn't be a bad thing to balance out the other books, but I will probably forget about it, as I do. Until I make it a point to read short books, but I definitely want to try this one, and if I enjoy his writing, I'll obviously read the whole thing. So yes, the reason I went into the mass market paperback section is that I wanted to get some books from the Dragons of Pern series. Basically, I read Fourth Wing like everyone on this planet, and I really enjoyed the dragons, okay? As much as I had some issues with some of the rest, the dragons were really cool, and a lot of you told me that it seemed really heavily inspired by this other series, and I wanted to try it to compare and see. I mean, more cool dragons, why not? I believe this is YA though, but whatever. There were millions, okay? Literally a million different books. I had no idea where to start, so I tried to Google it. Obviously, is it me or every time you go use book shopping, nothing works. The internet just does not connect. And I figured that these seemed the best ones to start with, and that, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are going to tell me, which is the best thing about the community. You can correct me. So I picked these two. We have Dragonflight, which is volume 1 in the Dragon Rider of Pern. So that sounds like a first book, right? And it seems to be one of the first one that came out. And you have the Chronicles of Pern First Fall. And it says that Hugo and Nebula Award-winning author. I've been trying to read some of those. It's one of my missions for next year, so maybe. So yes, I picked these two. I'm gonna try them, see if they have aged well, and I'll let you know, but I obviously wanted to try more cool dragons. So the last mass market paperback, I picked it up because I remember seeing this on a list of like must-read classic sci-fi, which I used to read a lot of them until I got tired of them. Spices. This is Ringworld, and I'm hoping that it has once again aged well. I know literally nothing about this one. I just know it's sci-fi, like I said. But I've seen it on a lot of lists of like best of all time, so I want to see if it is the best of all time. So basically one day I would like to do a video where I review all of the ones, like top 10 classic that you see on every list, classic sci-fi, and I can tell you which ones I still think, you know, held well with time, and which ones that I, as a woman, I liked. Let's be real, a lot of them are like written by older cis-straight white men, and it shows. So yeah. Okay, next, I love witches, and I wanted to try to find some lighter ones to balance out all the horror I'm planning to read. And I saw this one, and I didn't even check the reviews. I don't want to know. This is the XX. No difference with my accent, same word. But I wanted to try something. This is a romance, which I don't read a ton of, so I feel like sometimes it's a good thing because I don't have anything better to compare it to. Sometimes it's a bad thing because I just end up hating them, but this sounded like something I wanted to try. Obviously, a little magic, little curse on the horrible boyfriend. So Yes, I'm definitely reading this fall. The next two books are from Book of the Month. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. If you don't know, Book of the Month is an online book service for readers. Their mission is to promote new and emerging authors and help readers discover books that they'll love. Their team vets hundreds of books each month of new and early release books. You pick the one you're interested in, and if for whatever reason you don't want to pick, you can skip a month and you won't get charged. So I was able to choose the two that sounded the most appealing to me, and I picked first off this one, not because it's bright mustard yellow, although I'm currently painting a wall in the other room that color, so that might have played. But seriously, the premise sounded really interesting. It's based on a real life serial killer, which I feel like everyone is super into serial killers, and I wanted to try them. But it's based on one that was murdering a sorority. And the second one is The Stranger Upstairs, also really nice cover. This one you're following an influencer that decides to buy a haunted house, and to renovate it, and she finds something behind wallpaper. Apparently you get like gothic vibes, which I really like throughout the fall. So these are the two that I picked up. I'm hoping I will enjoy them. Definitely pick those up if you're interested. As always, I'll put the coupon code on the screen to get your first hardcover for $9.99. Definitely recommend. Next, something happened to me at that library sale, and I couldn't remember if I owned this book. This has not happened to me in forever. I feel like I'm really good at remembering what I own. The Deep. I'm pretty sure I don't own this. I literally looked everywhere. I can't find it. I think it's because it reminds me of Into the Deep. The Deep, Into the Deep, maybe, but the covers are different. Anyway, I've seen that cover too many times, I think, because it's about killer mermaids, and the other one also. So like, you know, I think at least they're killer mermaids, because it's from the descendant of pregnant African slave women who were thrown overboard by the slave owners, and I'm assuming they became, hopefully, killer mermaids. So yeah, it's also on the shorter side, which was another reason to pick it up, because I'm hoping to do a challenge where I read a bunch of my short books. And even though I didn't already own this, I've been thinking about it for so long that I felt like I owned this. So it's the same in my head. It's like 160 pages. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy this. The other cover is also really cool. See, this is why I was thinking killer mermaids, right? So I'll update you on what it is. And yeah, hopefully they get their revenge. Next, okay, I couldn't resist the next one. I really like the cover too. It's kind of busy, but I like it. This is Pride and Premeditation. Oh, the French is coming out. Pride and Premeditation. There you go. It's inspired by Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and it's like a murder mystery, which this is literally all I needed to know. I was like, you know what? Sold. This sounds so fun. I don't even care if I'm gonna like this or not. I just needed to own this. You're following a 17-year-old aspiring law student, Lizzie, and you know, Darcy's in there. There's a murder case in high society. I needed to know, to own it, and to eventually read it, and I'm hoping this is good. If you've read it, please let me know, but it better be good. Otherwise I'm going to be sad, because this is too fun. The next one, okay, my friend that was with me told me that this was really good. She read this a couple years ago. This is Garden Spells, and I had been telling her how much I like witches, and I wanted to try to get books that gave me like practical magic vibes, just like cozy fantasy basically. And she told me that this might hit the spot for me. And you're following obviously a garden. I don't know anything else about it, don't want to know, but apparently you get those like cozy day-to-day life wholesomeness, and I need that during the fall. And it's great to balance other things like this one. This is Notes on an Execution. I didn't realize right away that this is the large print edition, but it's okay. It's going to make it easier for me to read without my glasses. So this one, I've seen a few people mention it in their best books of last year. It's a mystery thriller, saying literally suspense. So basically you're following the story of a serial killer through the eyes of the women in his life. So like each chapter is like their point of view. And I've heard this is fantastic. So super appealing. Obviously it's purple that's helping. Anybody else? I cannot be the only one that really likes when a cover is a color that they like. There aren't enough purple books, okay? Like I'm looking at my shelf. I'm not seeing many. So yes, great reviews in general. I really want to make this a priority. Like as soon as I saw it, I knew I needed to add it really high on my TBR. So maybe in October we can pick this up. So excited I can't speak. The next one, okay. Ooh, this was a long time coming. Shift. So I read the first book in this trilogy. This is book 2 in the Silo trilogy. And I read the first book when I first started Booktube, I want to say, like 6 years ago. And I never continued because I enjoyed the first book, but it's divided in like 5 stories, and I really loved the first 2, and I was kind of losing interest at the end. I watched a TV show, and I'm back. I'm back. I want to know what happens. It's thick, but I really want to know. It's like post-apocalyptic people, like remnant of humanity living in a huge silo, and then, you know, daily life, political intrigue, people that want to go outside or do something bad are sent outside to clean, and it was good. It was good. It's just that I feel like the last 3 stories were a little weaker, so I'm hoping that book 2 picks up and things will be good. Otherwise, I'll just stick to the TV show. But I used to be obsessed with post-apocalyptic, so this should be good. And then I have some nonfiction books. First off, I have Bullshit Jobs by the same author. I have another book by him. Yeah, about debt, like the history of debts. And this one is about jobs that are completely pointless, that we are forced to work to survive. So millions of people have bullshit jobs, a form of paid employment that is so completely pointless, unnecessary, and pernicious that even the employee cannot justify its existence. I've been really trying to find little fun topics to just explore through nonfiction. I feel like there's this idea of like nonfiction being boring. Doesn't help when people are trying to be like, I only read nonfiction because, you know. So I'm trying to fight that by finding a lot of really fun ones, reading them, reviewing them, so we can just all read them and enjoy them. And that one sounded cool, so I picked it up. The next one, okay, I picked this one up because I ordered this one because I kept seeing this quote, which I'm gonna put on the screen. Listen, I needed to know where it came from. I needed to read more about it. This is The Politics of Reality, Essays in Feminist Theory. And like I said, that quote just, it you know, hit me very deep. And I wanted to read more about the whole essay just to see if there's anything else I really enjoy about it, because it's been stuck in my mind ever since I've seen it for the first time. So now I do have it. And last but not least, I have, oh no, it's not the last one. Oh, I almost forgot again. Last month, I forgot to mention it. So no, I have one ebook. That's why I don't like to buy ebooks. I forget about them. This is the worst excuse, but I bought Blood Over Bright Haven, and it's the same author from this other book that literally cannot remember right now. Kaijin. The Sword of Kaijin. Love that book. It was a standalone fantasy, and she came out with something else. I don't even know if it's related. I don't care. I really liked that one so much that I wanted to try something else, and a few of you commented that this came out. It's a brand new release. I picked it up. I will be reading it, and I'll update you. But yeah, I'm assuming it's another adult fantasy, and I'm looking forward to it, if I can not forget it. Last but not least, another nonfiction. This is The Right to Sex, which I have seen on a few lists of feminist books to try, and it's trying to grasp sex in all its complexity, its deep ambivalences in relationship to gender, class, race, and power. And I've heard great things. I've seen it on a couple lists, and I want to read more of those. So I feel like I've bought a lot of feminist books this year. To be fair, earlier this year, I found a big old pile of like older ones from like the 80s, and I bought a bunch because it sounded really cool and I wanted to see how they compared. But to compare them, I need to read some more recent work, and I've been trying to do that. So yeah, this is it. A fun little book haul for me. I'm really happy with the ones I found. I feel like I'm gonna have a really great time. Let me know in the comment section if you have read any of these, how you felt about them, and which ones you want me to pick up really soon. I literally cannot speak today. I feel like these are probably the highest one on my TBR at the moment. I'm really looking forward to these ones. That's it. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will see you in an upcoming video very soon. Bye.